Hola, my name is Ramon, cosmetic formulator and sunscreen fanatic, and today we're talking about my favorite sunscreen specifically for sensitive skin. And I'm talking alcohol-free, fragrance-free, just because I know those are more common skin sensitizers. You guys ask me all the time what my sunscreen recommendations are for specific skin types or skin concerns. And so stay tuned for the next couple weeks. I'll be uploading my sunscreen recommendations specific to specific skin types and concerns, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. But today, these are the sunscreens I particularly recommend due to the fact that they're going to be a lot more applicable to more sensitive skin types. Do note, this isn't going to be just a mineral only sunscreen recommendation video. I do have a good handful of chemical sunscreens. Sensitivity can be very subjective based on individual skin types and just how personal skin is. Do note, I'm not going to be getting into the nitty gritty for each individual sunscreen. I do have review videos for each individual one I'm going to mention though, so I will have each of those review videos linked with the sunscreen down in the description box, so make sure you check those out if you want the full tea on each individual one. So to kick off the list, first options I have are going to be kids sunscreens. These are generally a really good safe bet just because if they're made for kids, they're made for the ultra sensitive skin types that kids do have. First option I have is good for those heavy duty high UV index days. This is from Avène. This is their Intense Protect SPF 50+, and they want you to know with this one, it's good for sensitive skin types, specifically for babies, kids, and adults. This has a really good combination of European chemical filters, some new ones even, that are gonna give you very broad spectrum protection, very high photoprotective values. So this is one I would reserve more for beach days, or if protection is a very important factor for you. Being on the more moisturizing, emollient, semi-greasy side, be wary of that texture if you have more oily skin. If you have dry skin though, it's going to be a really good option for you, but this is the heaviest of heavy duties in my opinion. On a similar note, this is from P20, their kids sunscreen SPF 50+, and this one also very high photoprotective value, very clearly advertises it has a UVA PF of 50 and above, which is very high. And based off the Bootstar system and the SPF advertised, this people have assumed gets up to an SPF of 100, so also very good protection. Also very, very water resistant. This one to me though is a little bit more elegant than the Avène one, less emollient, less greasy, a little bit more universally applicable. Having oily skin, I don't mind this one on my face, so that is worth noting. It's also very affordable. This 100 ml ranges anywhere between 15 pounds to 20 pounds. Double the size, 200 ml is anywhere between 20 to 25 pounds. So a really good option for, I think, a more general audience in terms of skin type. The last one is from Black Girl Sunscreen. It's their Black Girl Sunscreen Kids Edition, SPF 50. This one specifically compared to the other ones takes away that octocrylene, and octocrylene is an ingredient that has some findings showing that on more sensitive skin types, it can cause a little bit of a reaction. That being said, I don't think it's an unsafe ingredient in that regard, but being for kids, they want this to be for more sensitive skin types. Really good protection from this one, and also it is water resistant as well. Very good affordable option in the US drugstores, and definitely a very elegant texture. It's moisturizing without being greasy or heavy, and also an option that I think is good for all skin types as well, because it works for really dry skin and really oily skin as well. The next two I have are some Korean options. First one I have is from Isntree. This is their hyaluronic acid watery sun gel, a really good hydrating option. This one has 8 different weights of hyaluronic acid in it, so it's gonna give you some really deep hydration, super lightweight gel texture, applicable to all skin types, and it is alcohol and fragrance free. This one to me is a more simple formulation, so if you're looking for something that's just going to give you nice hydrating and moisturizing benefits, this is the one to choose. And next is one from Village 11. This is their Daily Mild Sun Cream. This has what I love about Korean sunscreens in terms of like great antioxidants, great anti-inflammatory benefits. It is alcohol and fragrance free though, and it's a very nice lightweight moisturizing texture that is not going to be very emollient. It's very applicable to all skin types and also very affordable. And to me, this is a very fun sunscreen if you want a few more ingredient benefits out of a sunscreen. And next I have 2 Japanese options. First one is from Canmake. It's their Mermaid Skin Gel UV, arguably one of the more popular sunscreen reviews I've had on my channel. This one is alcohol free, fragrance free, super lightweight gel texture, and this is an oily skin individual's dream, especially if you don't mind a more natural to radiant finish. But again, it's applicable to all skin types. This is a combination sunscreen, so it does have mineral and chemical filters in there, but it's a very elegant texture that's applicable to a very, very wide range of skin tones. So definitely check it out if you were looking for a Japanese sunscreen that's super lightweight, melts in right away. A dream. And the next one I have is from Verdio. This is the UV Moisture Essence, and this is a very moisturizing option. So I recommend this more for normal to dry skin types. And again, this one is alcohol and fragrance free, so it's a good option if you want a chemical sunscreen, but those 2 factors are going to be really important for you. But do also know this is very emollient, so not the most oily skin friendly in my opinion. And now back to some European options. First one I have is from Garnier. It's their Ambre Solaire Sensitive Advanced Face UV Face Fluid. This is a very good option for oily skin types. This keeps a nice natural matte finish. It's oil controlling throughout the entire day. Super lightweight, melts in right away. This one does have alcohol, but is fragrance free. This one specifically is formulated to be eye friendly though, so it's not going to irritate around the eye area. And I know specifically in the review for this video, I had a lot of comments telling me that this was a good option for sensitive skin types as well. It's really affordable, available at Boots for like £8, so definitely an option to check out if oily skin or oil production is a concern. And on a similar note, a very similar formulation to that one is the La Roche-Posay Anthelios Chocolate Fluid Sunscreen. Arguably, I think a very similar formulation. A lot of similar claims, especially with being sensitive around the eye area, so worth noting. It's a little bit more on a pricier end, but definitely similar to the first few options I talked about. A very heavy duty sunscreen, very water resistant, very high foot protective values, so do check that out if you don't mind alcohol, but you do also have more oily skin. And the next one I have is also from Garnier. This one is their Ambre Solaire Anti-Age Super UV, a very nice lightweight gel moisturizing texture. This is going to be a great option for oily skin again, but I think arguably because it's nicely moisturizing, it's going to be good for all skin types. It's a very straight to the point sunscreen. It does have niacinamide in it, which I know is like a hot ingredient. It's very affordable. It's not water resistant. It's more of a daily wear sunscreen, but this has no fragrance, no alcohol, and is really nice around the eye area without irritating it. So I felt it was worth shouting out in this video. And then next I have some mineral sunscreen options. These are generally going to be best for, I think, more sensitive skin types, since chemical filters subjectively can be a little bit more irritating to certain skin types. Mineral is generally a more safe bet. To start off, I have a couple options from Cotz. First, I have their Flawless Complexion Sunscreen. This is my favorite option from Cotz. It's richly moisturizing, so if you have oily skin, prepare your skin properly. You have to really work around this, but this is the most inclusive mineral sunscreen I've used thus far in terms of what skin tones can use it. What is worth noting is that this has an ingredient called bismuth oxychloride, which some individuals can also be sensitive towards. I think it's a little bit more of a smaller percentage than alcohol and fragrance, for example, so do note that. But if that is the case for you, they do have a sensitive skin version that isn't tinted, so it's not as inclusive in my opinion. It does leave a little bit of a white cast, especially with the reapplication, but that one is, as the title suggests, more appropriate for the more sensitive skin type, so worth noting as well. Also really moisturizing, so I argue that Cotz is a better option for more dry skin types, but I really like the formula of the Flawless Complexion, so I really wanted to shout that out. And then next I have the Cocokind Daily SPF 32, one of my all-time favorite mineral sunscreens. Really elegant texture. This is really nicely moisturizing. It does have really nice moisturizing ingredients in it, but it's not heavy on the skin. You don't feel it in any regard. It says really oily skin appropriate, but I think with proper skin prep, dry skin types can use this as well. No white cast on me, and I've seen a lot of reviews on this that on deeper skin tones leave no white cast. This is a drugstore option at Target for about $25. Really good brand, really good product, worth checking out if you're looking for a mineral sunscreen that's moisturizing that leaves a natural finish. And next I have a mineral sunscreen from Sunbum. This is their Tinted Face Sunscreen Lotion SPF 30. This is just a really good makeup primer. It preps the skin beautifully, diffuses some texture and pores, leaves you with a nice oil controlled finish. Makeup goes on top of this beautifully. This is also water resistant for 30 minutes, so this is a nice option I think for summer, especially if you are very oily, because you're getting some heavy duty wear out of it, but it's a really elegant texture, leaves no white cast, and it wears great with makeup. And the last option I have is from Kinship. It's their Self Reflect Probiotic Moisturizing Sunscreen SPF 32, arguably one of my other favorite mineral sunscreen options. What I enjoy about this again is that it is a moisturizing sunscreen, so it's applicable to all skin types, but I find the finish of this to vary between being very natural to more matte oil control depending on how you prep your skin. But the texture of this, the feel of this, the wear of this on the skin is very elegant. It's also one that's very applicable to a wide range of skin tones. And what I also enjoy about this, having acne prone skin, is that this is intended to be fit for more acne prone skin while also being really soothing as well. So if you have sensitive skin type and acne is a concern, this is one I definitely recommend. And then the last mineral options I have are a little bit different. These specifically only feature titanium dioxide, which compared to the other mineral options, those featured zinc or zinc and titanium. The issue with titanium by itself is that it's not the most broad spectrum filter. There's limitations as to what it can really do, contrary to what some of these advertise, I'm gonna be honest. But that being said, there are some skin types that just cannot tolerate zinc, cannot tolerate chemical filters, and therefore they have to settle with titanium dioxide, which is a very gentle filter that just can't do the most all the time. But arguably these are still really good daily sunscreen options regardless. First one I have is from Isntree. This is their Hyaluronic Acid Perfect Sun Block, a very beautiful, very hydrating titanium dioxide based sunscreen, super lightweight on the skin, fragrance and alcohol free. So a really good option if hydration is a concern of yours. Another option from Suntique. This one is their I'm Safe for Sensitive Skin. Right there on the label, it's great for sensitive skin types. This is another really lightweight, very nicely hydrating gel texture sunscreen. This one just melts into the skin, looks beautiful on all skin types and all skin tones. With this one, I would just say prep your skin a little bit better in terms of moisturizing. This goes a little bit better on top of a more emollient base, so just note that. But it's a really good option and one that I think is a little bit more realistic with its SPF advertising. Note this one does say it's SPF 35 PA3+. These other two have higher claims on them and I don't know how those are achieving them, but realistically, I think this is what you can expect to attain from a titanium-based sunscreen. And the last one is from Cocokind. This is their ATO Mild Sun Cream. I think my favorite of these three titanium-based sunscreens. It's a very nice moisturizing texture, a little bit more rich in my opinion, but still beautiful for oily skin types. And with this one, you also get a little bit more product out of it, so it's a little bit more generous in its offering, but a really great option. Cocokind for me just does very great straight to the point skincare. That's great for sensitive skin, nicely moisturizing, not many bells and whistles, so this gets the job done without doing the most. And so with that, those are my sunscreen recommendations specifically for more sensitive skin types. Let me know down below if you have sensitive skin, what are your thoughts on some of the sunscreens that I mentioned, as well as some of your favorites for your sensitive skin as well. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, so that you know when I post more skincare, sunscreen, and fancy related content on my channel. Leave your thumbs up, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.